Hello, everybody. Look at us, we're back already. Happy Monday. How are we doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Monday, start of a new week. Lots to do. Particularly a lot to do on the Astra Militarum. But also not very much left to do. We have a Primaris Psyker, a Baneblade, a Rogal Dorn, and 5 Kasrkin. And then we are A-OK. We're all good. We're groovy. We'll be done for a while. On the Militarum for a while. We might do a little bit more later on, but who knows? We'll see. Just depends, doesn't it? Depends on time and all that good stuff. It's the one currency I don't have any of. Well, I don't have any money either, but I don't have any time. I don't have any money. It is the way of things. Hello, Travis. Good evening, Demogorgon. Missed the tale of many Warhipsters. What a disgrace. No. The beauty of it is it stays up forever, like everything I say on the internet. It remains forever and all times in the public space. So tonight, this afternoon, I think I'm going to do a little bit more on my Primaris Psyker. This individual here, who we've been working on today and last night. So we'll be doing that. Or I'll paint some Kasrkin. The choice is yours. Of course. What you going to call the Monday stream then? Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll go to Middle Earth, or maybe we'll go to back to me time, or maybe I'll take a couple of weeks off from doing them. You know. I got a lot to do. A lot to do. Over the coming weeks and months. Just replace it with a video instead. Mechanicum Monday. Yeah, we could do Mechanicum Monday. When is the Elatok tutorial coming out? It could come out this week. So this week, let me have a look at my... Currently what I have left to go out, in terms of videos, is... No, I'm in the wrong note. Videos in hand, there we go. We have Eandon, Samehan, Elatok. We have Snarlfang Riders. We have the Krieg Command Squad, the Heavy Weapons, and the Primaris Psyker, and the Kasrkin, if we get them done this week. We have the Rogal Dorn and the Baneblade as well, which is... We're going to be one video. It's not going to be two separate ones, because it's fundamentally exactly the same thing. It's just one's several orders of magnitude bigger than the other. So... let me just write that down. Tanks. So we've got Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday as our slots. We need to get the Krieg stuff out sharpish. So maybe what we'll do this week is we'll do maybe Elatok. Was it Elatok you wanted? Elatok, yeah. Maybe we'll do Elatok this week, as well as the Snarlfang Riders, as well as the Krieg Command Squad. Maybe that's the lineup we'll have for Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then the week after we can have other stuff. You love the Monday stream after you've watched Paint Perspective. Well, there you go. I mean, I'd like to keep them going. It's just, you know, sometimes something's got to give. I have to see how I feel. I have to protect myself, you know. At some point in the future, I have to make a decision that looks after my own brain. But yeah, this week I've got a lot to do, as always. And next week and the week after. Basically, we're until mid-March now, essentially. Give up sleep. I already don't get enough sleep. This is what I do for you guys out there. I go to bed at 5. I rise at 10. And then we get on with it. Yeah. I mean, we're on a roll, right? We're on a roll of daily content. I have been since the 9th of January. I believe. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. And today is 33, so it's a 33 days on the bounce. Hello, Warhipster. Sorry it's been a while since I was here. I've been seriously unwell, but back to good health. So much so, I'm now watching your great channel whilst attempting to start painting. That's okay, Martin. Your health comes first. I am not a priority at all. You got to look after yourself, buddy. I'm just glad you're feeling better. Hello, Warhipster. Love your videos. Will you do the new minis, Helm, Hera, Thorn, etc. for MESBG? Yes, I will. You've been smashing out content like God knows what. A break is totally understandable. Hello, Captain Manrings. How you doing? Mighty Sigmar Mondays. Well, so Stormcast, is that what you're saying? I thought about that the other day. I had an idea. I'd have to buy 2 more boxes of Stormstrike Paladors, and everyone would think it was rubbish, but I would like it. Or I buy 2 more Stormstrike Chariots, and we roll Vandus Hammerhand, 3 Stormstrike Chariots, and 6 Vanguard Paladors, Stormstrike Paladors for the event coming out. And it's just a case of sacrifice a chariot to make my models actually work. Hera on horse isn't out yet, is it? No, it is not. We haven't seen a model for Leaf, the page. We haven't seen a model for Helm in armor. We haven't seen Freylaf. And we haven't seen... there's one more. Olwyn? Is it Olwyn? I think it's Olwyn. Just take Barry. I do have a Barry. He's on his cannon though. I don't want to remove him from his cannon. But yeah, if you appreciate what we do around here on the old Warhipster channel, please do leave a like on the stream. That would be very kind of you. I would appreciate that. We need to get to 50 likes. And there's 56 people watching right now. I had a fever dream I was painting the Emperor's Children new range. Well, I think based on the announcement today of the super fancy limited edition versions of those codexes, I can't imagine they're actually that far away now. So maybe your dream will come true very soon. I don't know if I talked about this last night. I probably did. But yesterday, I built a Chaos Terminator. Because I just assume they're going to be in the new book. And I'm going to use this. Well, I'm going to use all 5 of them to figure out the Emperor's Children scheme. So we'll have to see. But there's going to be a bit of a fact-finding mission that will go on with these. And I will film that, because you guys have asked for a video on how do I come up with schemes. Well, I figured let's make a video where I figure out one, right? Rather, you know, I figured out that that's probably the way to do it, is if I do a video on how I do it, doing something where I'm actually doing it, because this is one where we are going to be... I don't really know how I'm going to do it. Because generally the answer is, well, I probably painted that colour before, so I just go and find the one that looks exactly like it, and then I just put that on the new model. Hope you're doing good, Josh. I am doing very well, Captain Mannerings. Are you doing okay? Tattoo Zoologist, thank you very much for the 1 gifted Warhipster membership, you bloody legend. That is our first new member of the day. Incredibly kind of you. We're 85 away from 500. So if you know somebody who likes gifting memberships, just come in and get them to drop 50. We'll be really good. Did the Krieg Command Squad come with any spare torsos? I want to make some Krieg tank commanders, but I don't want to pay $40 for one off of eBay. It does not. The Krieg Command Squad does not come with any spare bits whatsoever, other than the spare guns, basically. I've got the sprue here somewhere. Where is it? No, not in there. This is always the challenge. Is that it? Oh, it might be actually. Yeah, that's the sprue. So this is all that remains of the Command Squad sprue after you built it the way I did. Let's just do this. Go overhead. So that's one of the sprues. So you get shovel, axe, few different pouches and stuff, a sign, and another shovel. And then the other sprue is this one, where you get a spare melter gun, flamer, grenade launcher, a bolt gun, and that's it. Power fist, chainsword, mallet, bolt pistol, las pistol. Hello, Chris. Thank you for dropping by. Fake Street Spirit, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Thank you for 4 hours of your time yesterday. It was a great stream. How do you recommend painting a Tree Lord a little more fancy to brown plus dry brush? That is an interesting question that you asked me there. The question I have for you, the better question I have for you is, what's your what tree are you trying to do? Because if you want to make it fancy and spend loads of time on it, then line highlight all of that wood. But you'll regret that because there's a lot of edges. So like if you're trying to, like, you could go for like bleached wood, which would make it like quite white. The best thing to do is look at trees within nature and kind of figure out which one you want to try and replicate, and then that's how you make the recipes a little bit more fancy in terms of your highlights and stuff like that. Obviously there's a lot more to a Tree Lord, so there's things like there is the bark, you know, that's the main part of it, but you do have all the flowers and the blossom, and you have things like the runes and stuff and the eyes, and what you can do with them is you can create like elements of glow to those sorts of things. You've got something like the heart of the trees. Sometimes that's often on display. You can sit in Kurnoth hunters right in the middle of their waists. Their tummies are open and there's a little heart in there, so you can make that glow. You can give it a little kind of a glow around the eyes. It'll have the big runic markings on the leg, arm, and on the chest as well. It's another place you can add some glows. And then another thing that you can do that I've seen very, very very often that makes tree lords and stuff look really cool is if you can get some clump foliage, modeling clump foliage, like flock and stuff. You can glue that to the end of the branches and stuff to make it a tree in bloom rather than one that's only just got little flowers and stuff. That is another way of doing it that makes them look super cool. That you can get that sort of thing from most hobby stores that stock like actual things like trains, model trains and stuff like that. Out of curiosity, did you get any of the new Krieg infantry boxes? I want to see the difference in the sprues from the Kill Team one, lacking the specialist options, obviously, but can't find a pick online. I did not get sent the Krieg infantry boxes, no. I only got sent what I sprue reviewed. So I don't know what's in that box. If I had to guess, the only difference is that it doesn't have the little upgrade sprue, and you don't generally, if you just follow the instructions, you don't use that anyway. But I don't know. I don't know if there is much of a difference other than that there's going to be different tokens. There's going to be no tokens in there. We don't know. Good afternoon, Sir Strommingfish. Tried to prime for the first time today and it went badly. Ended up either too thick or too thin. What is the secret to getting it nice and thin? Use the Citadel spray stick. Distance is the secret. It's difficult to explain, right? But my arm, right? My arm is about roughly 60 inches long. No, not 60 inches long. 60 centimeters long. Right. That's my arm. Right. I hold the stick like this. I hold the stick, and I keep the can like this. You want to be at least. If you go close like this, if you go close, it just goes. It's way too much comes out. It all hits the model at once. You want to keep the distance, and the trick is not to just you want to be like that, like that. You need to go in short bursts, and you need to move the models round. You don't need any more than 3 or 4 per angle. So it's like 1, 2, 3. Turn 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the angles are there's basically 7 angles, right? If there's a model, if this is the model, right? There's one here from the front, like at the angle there, one there from dead on, and another one there, and then same on the back, one there, one there, one there, and then the 7th one straight down. Keep Story, thank you very much for becoming a member again. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Someone at the big Warhammer store in Grapevine, Texas said that the new box also comes with more special weapon options, interestingly. That would be interesting. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if it will. I genuinely think... Like, hang on. So, there's the Kill Team box. The Kill Team box comes with 2 big sprues and 1 small sprue. And the 1 small sprue is where it has a bunch of like extra flavour for you to do different things with your models. It's how you get the bruiser, for example, with the melee thing. The bonk on the head and all that kind of thing. The one with the rosary and the one holding the book, for example. That won't be on there. I genuinely think that's probably the only thing that's gone from it, if that is the case. If not, that also might be in there. And again, don't be surprised if the only thing that's missing from that infantry box is the tokens. But I don't know. I don't know is the answer. But at least it's cheaper than the Kill Team box. So there's that. That's a good thing. That's nice. Welcome back, Colonel. I'm very well. Are you okay? How was your impromptu meeting? What's next on this? Maybe it is just using some Screamer Pink. Let's do that. I need a new pot of Screamer Pink. This one's nearly dead. I've gone through one of those moments, like every so often, like as you know, you paint full time. You'll go through a period where like you'll run out of one paint here, so you have to get a new one, and that's fine. One paint at a time is okay. But like a food shop, every so often, like 10 paints run out at once, and I've gone through that this week, this last month. It's just been really annoying. How many paints do you finish off a year? Oh, probably easily somewhere in the 30 or 40 range. I get through it. I get through a lot of paint. It's not cheap, this. Especially when you paint as much as I do. Why is the camera overheating? Okay, well, we'll deal with that in a second. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is take some thinned down Screamer Pink. I'm going to use this to highlight the inside of the cloak. It's quite a subtle little highlight, this one. It's perfect for what we want. There you go. Will you be getting any high elf releases? Unlikely. I might pick up one or two bits, but I'm convinced at this point I'm probably just waiting for the wood elves now. Hello, Mark. How's life, the universe, and everything? Oh. I'd say it's probably around about 42. How are you? I might pick up a merworm. It's so hideously pretty. Yeah, the merworm it would be a fun project to do. That's for sure. The slight the issue I have had with I think Old World in general is the older models are so impossibly hard to build that I don't want to do any of them. I just don't. And because it's all kind of... This is going to sound like... It's going to sound like slightly stupid, but because it's quite often Forge World or it's expert kit or something like that, and the instructions are designed in the same way as things like the Horus Heresy models, I feel like that makes them think that they have an excuse to badly write the instructions. So what you'll have is a set of instructions that will be like, oh yeah, these 8 components, put them together. And you're like, how? Where did the things go? And there's no guide pegs and there's none of that. And so it's just like, I've talked about it in the past, but I just can't stand it when it's when the models are just like, you know, like you get it all together and then it just sort of does this as it falls apart, and then you look at it later and your models are all like that. And it's like, oh, so you spend so much time holding things. And I just feel like so much of the time it's unnecessarily stupid, and like it's a significant time investment for me to do any of it, and I never have the time to do it, so I just don't bother. I don't want to stack up loads of really cool old world kits in my house to never do anything with them, you know. Radagast on Slay is one of the worst models I've assembled. Expert kit, because you have to be an expert to put that crap together. Exactly. I'm more and more leaning towards this idea that they put expert on it, which gives them an excuse to make it a crap model, rather than it being Forge World. Have you any news on the Emperor's Children or plans for tutorials? I mean, I'm going to do all of it. That's my plan. But no, I don't know anything about it. I bought some Terminators. I've built some Terminators to figure out the scheme, because I have no idea how I'm going to paint it yet. When you paint the Death Riders, what would you use to highlight the hooves of the mounts after you use Carroburg Crimson? The hooves? They don't have hooves, do they? Oh, I suppose they do. No, they don't. They have claw hat feet. I mean, I didn't highlight them in the video because I didn't think they needed them. So my answer is kind of, I don't think it needs it. But, you know, you could use... you could use a flesh colour. Could use something like Kislev flesh, maybe. Or you could go for more pink, and you could move towards something like Fulgrim pink, if you wanted it to be pink, if you wanted to accentuate the pink. But yeah, I didn't do it in the video because I didn't think it needed it. Can you help me figure out a colour? The rocks on Astra Militarum Unbroken model. Can't figure it out. Thought it was Skaven Blight, but nope. I can certainly try. Where are we? Astra Militarum Unbroken. Astra Militarum Unbroken. This guy. That is interesting. It's not Skaven Blight Dinge, no. That's too dark. I mean, I'm assuming you're doing it with base and layer paints, which isn't exactly my strong suit. If I was to do it, I would do it. I'd probably go Rattling Grime, shade it with Targor Raid Shade, dry brush it with. It's not quite as bright as Tyrant Skull. Maybe Xandri Dust. Would probably be how I would do that to get that kind of pinky red. That's how I would do it. I can't answer how you do it in base and layer paints. Do you have any tips for batch painting? Working on 2,000 points of World Eater soon, painting them with Horus Heresy color scheme. Yeah, don't do it in any. Don't try and do more than 5 at the time. Just keep it to 5. Are you planning the pink? Yes. Yeah, that's what I need to figure out. But yeah, badge painting, don't do more than 5 at a time. Do it a colour at a time. Get them all to battle ready. Get them all to beyond. That's the way to do it. And, you know, enjoy yourself. Try not to have the entire project in front of you either. Pack it away if you have to. Just get 5 out at a time and just deal with 5. 5 at a time, you'll be fine. Just watched your sprue review for the Krieg squad and you said 6 out of 10 and dream come true in the same sentence. Your scales are broken. Yeah, I think that's a perfectly fine thing to say. Something can be 6 out of 10 and also can be a dream come true. The point about it being a 6 out of 10 is that the 2 kits that came out were okay. The Krieg Command Squad is a beautiful kit and it looks amazing. You're not going to have variation in it though. So if you want 3 of them, be prepared to paint the same models 3 times. That having 1, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And if you were only to ever have 1, it would be 9 out of 10. The sprues were a bit dodgy at times, but like you can have 3 of them for your 3 squads of 20 and the models all come out exactly the same each time. So if, like I said, if you want to paint it 3 times, by all means. But that to me is not great. Heavy weapons squad as well. It's a weird one because the heavy weapons squad, you get the heavy stubbers and you get the heavy flamer and you get the las cannon. And the heavy stubber and the heavy flamer are there that feel like they plug into the Cadian range. Because the Cadian range has heavy bolter, las cannon, autocannon, and mortar. Krieg does not. Krieg has 2 model weapons that are not on there and a similar one in the form of a las cannon. So, you know, it feels like if you want more heavy weapon squads, you can plug some Krieg into your Cadians. Is it enough to create a complete Deathcore of Krieg army? No missile launchers either. That's the point about the Krieg, is that the Krieg range is very good. It is. My camera is overheated. Which is strange, because it was fine yesterday. I'm going to go and turn the heating off. Give me 2 seconds. There's too much crap in this room. I do not have enough space. It's literally... We need to move. We need to move so desperately badly. How long did you expect Militarum Monday to take you? Are we over or under target? At the moment, massively under. I do wonder how well the Cadian heavy weapon team and the Krieg heavy weapon team can swap out. Not very well, I would imagine, because the Krieg heavy weapon, they have a hand on top of the weapon and a hand underneath it with the pistol, with the grip of the gun. So that's what they look like. The Cadians look like this. And also, you can't have Cadian heavy weapons with heavy flamers or heavy stubbers. That's not allowed. I'm a little bit sad as well. You can no longer put a heavy weapon into you can no longer put a heavy weapon into an infantry squad. Oops, 12 las cannon heavy weapon squads. You can't have that many. What you can have is 9, because you can buy some Katachan ones as well. Katachans can have las cannons. So 3 Katachan, 3 Krieg, 3 Cadians. But they all have different abilities, and the heavy weapon, the Krieg one, is arguably the best one because it's got shoot on death, I think. Cadians have got Overwatch on 4s or some nonsense. I can't remember what it was. And the Katachan one, I can't remember. But there you go. What's next on you? Do. It's probably the black details. So how are we going to do those? Ashen grey. Let's do that. That seems like a good idea to old Josh. Yeah. No. Yes. Camera's back. Pause that. So with that Screamer Pink highlight applied to the inside of the cloak, like I said, it's a very, very subtle highlight, but it's just what we want, just add a little bit of extra interest under there. But what we're going to do now is move on, and we're going to move on to all of the black details, and the colour we're going to be using to highlight these is some thinned down Ashen Grey. I'm just going to start here on the boot. Just like that sort of thing. And what you can do at this point is skip over doing the ribbed cables, because it won't add a lot to those. Boom. I'm really not appreciating whoever it is who keeps subscribing and unsubscribing today. What's wrong with being subscriber number 78,700? You know? I don't know if you've been watching it. It's gone up to 700 3 times now. Oh, look, I just lost another one. Is it as bad as liking and unliking the stream? Well, I can't track that as closely as I can the subscribers. You see. Um, we want the 100k this year. That is exactly correct. And we don't get there with all these people going, nah. To be fair, I suspect it's not people saying nah. I suspect what it is it's inactive accounts being deleted by Games Workshop, by Google. Which they do tend to do. And sometimes you'll get a large amount of it happening in a day. And that's always disappointing when that happens. It's one of the reasons I don't celebrate milestones until we're way past the milestone. Because there's a lot of people out there who think it's really funny. His name is Reza. That if you say, "Oh my god, guys, thank you so much for helping me get to 100,000 subscribers. This is a dream come true. I honestly couldn't believe I was here. I got here. It's all down to you. You guys are amazing." He's the person who goes, "Unsubscribe, lol." So again, you get to see it go back down to 99,999. Back up to 699. Yeah, there you go. I mean, this is welcome to the life of YouTubing. When you set yourself a goal, you're literally watching numbers go up, and all you want to do is do whatever you can to make those numbers go up faster. But ultimately, there's nothing you can do about it. I'm not in control of other people's subscribing habits. I can't make you do anything you don't want to do. 701, there you go. Did something blue win the poll? It did. Violets are blue. Violets are blue won the poll. Blue is clearly the more popular colour than red. I would find it very funny if next month it's just wall-to-wall Ultramarines. I've been talking about doing some Ultramarines and adding them to the Astra Militarum as part of the basically using Deathwatch kill team rules to justify them from a rules standpoint. But just because, you know, Space Marine 2 has been such a wonderful game for me. It would be fun to put them in just as like a little bit of an homage, a tribute to that game. Because I don't have Titus. I was like, I could just get a box of Stern Guard. That would work. Is Josh getting raided by bots? I wish. No, I don't. Please don't raid me, bots. It's the reason we have subscribers only turned on, is if I don't have it turned on, we just get hit by a bunch of people being like, so, have you tried crypto? Have you tried losing all your money to crypto? I keep getting comments every now and then going, well, thanks for the video. I have this, I want to ask you a question about Binance. I have this activation phrase. And it's like, get out. Go away. Stop it. Why are people so awful on the internet? Why is the internet? Why do people think it's okay to just try and scam other people out of money? I just hate it so much. What do you think is the best colour for Barak Zilfin's overalls / undersuit in contrast paint? I don't know. What colour are they? According to this one picture, Space Wolf's grey. And then follow a Space Wolves video. That'll help you. That'll do you. So with all that Eshin Grey applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Dawnstone. I'm going to use this to add some little spot highlights to all the black. Just at the sharpest points, like so. What we can also do is just wipe most of it off our brush and kind of just dry brush this in many ways over top of the ribbed cables. Just like that sort of thing. See, it's easy, this content creation game. Yeah, this is how the tutorials are filmed. Often with actual less efficiency. What I'm doing right now is being confident because you guys are watching. There's a lot more umming and ahhing that goes on when you guys aren't here. Bow, wow, 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 wow. When I say there's a lot more umming and ahhing, what I mean is in the decisions. Because the eternal struggle with making these videos is how in depth do you make them? Like how good a model do you want to make it? Because you can do upwards of sort of 3 to 4 highlights per model if you wanted to. But when I do that, on anything really, there's a bunch of people who get really mad that it's not just like 3 paints. So sometimes there is a bit of a balance to be struck. So for example, the next colour that is going to be used on this Primaris Psyker is going to be Administratum Grey. And the reason we're using that is we're using that to highlight the trousers. But the question is whether the trousers even need highlighting. Now, to my mind, yes, they do. But to your mind, they might not. They might not. And then you have the other slightly difficult conversation you have to have with yourself is it worth it on this video, you know, for this model? There we go. Hey, I'm new around here, but I watch your videos to improve at painting and find them really useful, so I think more highlighting is better. It helps to learn. That's awesome, super awesome coffee. I appreciate that. It's the toss-up, right? You want to watch a video where it goes, hello everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we're going to be painting the new Fulgrim Demon Primarch of the Emperor's Children. It's been primed in Grace here, and the colour we're going to be using first is Leviathan Purple. And with that Leviathan Purple all applied, and all the other details painted off camera, Fulgrim is now finished. We used one paint to do all of this. Thanks for watching. See you all in the next one. If you'd like to see how I really painted it, you can check out my Patreon. That's the other one. You know? That is the age-old debate, though. Should you, as a content creator, I think everybody would advise you to paywall your videos, right? So, like, I do 2 videos a week, one on Thursday, one on Saturday. What I should do is put the one on Thursday out and paywall it. And be like, hey, if you want to see this one, you have to pay for it. But you put the Saturday one out so everyone can see it. And theoretically, the Saturday one is your advert for the stuff that's on your Patreon. But I don't believe in that. I don't think that's... I wouldn't want to lock anybody out of being able to see that. And that's the thing. Or do a video where you paint one aspect of the model and then the rest of it you do behind a paywall. So for someone to want to finish their model, they have to go and look at your Patreon to do so. And again, I personally don't agree with it. But I know that's what I could do. I just don't do it. So I get these emails every so often from people who they're scams, first and foremost, let's be clear. But I get these emails from scams of people being like, hey, if you just give me the login details to your YouTube account, I'll fix all the SEO for you. And you're like, no, not gonna happen. That's always a fun one. what I really liked was an agency got in touch. And there's this thing that happens right now in YouTube, okay, where there are a bunch of agencies out there who want to take your money, right? And they don't want to do any of the work. So what they will do is, and this is where the scam is, right? The scam is that, and it's not really a scam because you do get paid, but what happens is you collaborate with an agency that will publicize your video, and you don't tell you how they publicize your video. They just will. And I think what they do is they set bots to watch it, okay? But they pay you, let's say 150 quid to make a video, alright? But they own it. So you get paid £150 to make the video, but any ad revenue it makes, they get. And what they're banking on is that the video goes viral. And they can try and make it go viral. So you have a video that you got paid 150 quid to make, but let's say you do a video called how to use contrast paints properly. Say you make that video and you get paid £150 to make it, and that's all well and good. You got £150 in your pocket, and that's amazing. What happens if that video gets 2.5 million views in the first week? You don't see a single penny of it. That's how it works. And trust me, there are ways that they can make it go up. All you have to do is just get the cheat is you get a bunch of bots to comment on it, just saying comment or this looks great, you know, this, that, and the other, and that drives up the engagement, which means it goes up in the world based on ranking, which means it gets surfaced to more people, which means more people watch it. Scams are getting better these days. I miss when you would get an email from a displaced foreign noble. Oh yeah, those were the best. I like those ones, because at least the email's fun to read. I'll see if I've got any today. Yes. Yes, we do. Right, where is it? This is the kind of thing that I get on a daily basis. I'm just going to be really careful here, so as not to show anybody anything they shouldn't see. There. Thriving partnership. Hi, YouTuber. I'm writing to you from Hershey's, since we appreciate what you do on your YouTube channel. Your distinctive approach and the bond you have with your audience is truly inspiring. We're keen on working together with you by featuring a 30-second Hershey's chocolate commercial at the beginning of one of your videos. Our space stands out for its purity and quality, and we are confident it would align nicely with your viewers. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in, I'd love to talk more. Let's make something great together. Hi, YouTuber. Now, if you look there, this email comes from hobsicko@mail.bg. Seems legit. Yeah, that sounds cool. Most legit recruiter I've seen. Yeah. And you get those all the time. All the damn time. And what's really bad is when it's one that you think actually might be aligned. So I had one that I nearly responded to a while ago that was from Sony. But it wasn't from Sony. There's a really upset bloke at Hershey's wondering why nobody ever replies to him. Yeah. Possibly. I doubt it somewhat. I got a message at work once by a Chinese company. Hi, I see you're in Industry X. Would you be interested in buying a rip-off of our product? We offer it at a competitive price, yada yada. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get that all the time. I get one saying, we would love to do a collaboration with you on this thing. Click this link to find out more. I'm like, no. No, I will not. I will not be doing that. Thank you very much. Kind regards. What you see on a lot of them is it says unsubscribe at the bottom as well. So I'm on a subscriber list of people they want to con. And it's not about me getting hurt. At the end of the day, I would get hurt by that, but I could probably get my channel back. What they want to do is they want to hurt all of you. That's what they want to do. Because if I let them in, what happens is all my content gets deleted and it gets replaced with some crypto scam live stream that's going on for 24 hours. And it's to get you to be like, oh, what's this? And you click on it and go, well, I could make up to $1,000 a day by doing this. This seems legit. And it's coming from a channel that has 78,000 subscribers. That must be real. That's what they want to do. They want to hurt all of you. And I won't let them do that. Like I lose everything. Okay, yeah, I lose it all, but I can possibly get it back. All that needs to happen there is for one of you to click on it, and there you go. You're done. You see it all the time. You see it all the time with big channels. It happened to Linus Media Group last year. Linus of all people clicked on a stupid button and the whole channel just got erased. All the content erased and replaced with an Elon Musk Tesla scam. A 24-hour stream just going of like, yeah, and it's coming from a tech channel. That's what I mean. It's how it works. And it's like, just leave me alone. I make painting videos. I don't make chocolate reviews. Why would I partner with Hershey's? Try again. The one I was getting for a while was DaVinci Resolve, based famously in Estonia. No. Yeah. Yeah. It's just a shame, isn't it? That everyone's out there to hurt you. Just makes it very sad. Yeah, I got one the other day from somebody who it's a classic scam, that one. It's this is confirmation of your payment to such and such. Click this link if you didn't make this payment. And you go, oh, what is that? And you look at it, and it's, you know, it'll be something like Norton Antivirus, and it will be like $6,000. And you go, wait, I didn't pay $6,000 for Norton. Quick! Click the link. Oh, look. Now you've paid $6,000. There. I hate it. Boom, 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 boom. Went shop to buy a new hobby lamp outside a cool-looking Volvo parked behind me, and the women asked me from backseat, can you borrow her some money for ticket because her card won't work here in Finland? Yeah, everyone's just out here. Everyone's, as you could say, just out here hustling. That's what they would say. So, oh, we're just trying to make a living. I was like, oh, what? By hurting people? Yeah, great. That makes you such a nice person. We do something very, very untrustworthy, which is where we get other communities that are full of trust and break that trust. It's great business model. Right. So with that Dawnstone all applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Administratum Grey, and we're going to use this to highlight the trousers. There you go. I think the only hobby scam one you could do that would work, but you would only work on smaller creators, is if you just masqueraded as Games Workshop and said, hey, we want to work with you. We want to send you free Warhammer. And I think most creators would fall for that because they would be like, you know, people who aren't already in the program and know who it is supposed to be messaging you. I think a lot of people would fall for that. Hello, Alec, man. How are you doing? We're just rolling straight into the next coat. Let's go for it. Let's do it. Overhead. No. So with that Administratum Grey all applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. We're going to use this to highlight all of our silver details. How did you get into the GW program? I worked really, really hard on building a YouTube channel. Is the short answer. And then they released they were releasing Contrast Wave 2, which was pertinent to what my channel was about. So sometimes what you'll see is you know, something like somebody who makes loads of Lord of the Rings content, for example. A new creator will spring up because they get supported by Games Workshop because they make Lord of the Rings content. In my case, it was Contrast Wave 2 came out, and they said, we'd like to send you this. And I was like, yes, please. This is what I've been waiting for a very long time. Might we see a Warcom article from a certain Contrast Pro tomorrow? I don't know. I honestly, I don't know the answer to that question. It might come out tomorrow. It depends on when Vince's came out. If Vince's came out last Tuesday and they said we'll hear more from Warhipster next week, then it might be tomorrow. It might be Wednesday. I don't know. But I genuinely have no idea when that's coming out. I'm surviving. Work is rough, and as a result, I probably won't be able to chat like I used to, but I'm happy to hang out while I'm able. Well, that's very kind of you, Alec, man. I hope work gets better for you. There's actually a shocking amount of silver on this model, which I wasn't quite expecting. And I ought to know, I painted in the silver. Such is life. Page does not exist. Huh. That's odd. If they've deleted it, then you might not see my article. Oh, it's just the US version breaking again. Ah. To be fair, it's not a great website. But it's better than their web store, which is hilarious. I just find it updates so slowly. It's like it has to populate the article in several different places at once. Because you have to, if it goes out, and then you have to look in all news sometimes if you can't see it. And if you can't see it in all news, then you have to wait a moment, and then it'll appear in all news. But they put the links out on like Facebook before it's even gone properly live at times. So sometimes the best way to get to an article quickly is to go to Facebook, go to one of their pages and click on the link from them, and it'll take you through to it. But it won't be public yet. Or rather that the website's taking ages to time it up, to spool up and get it out to you. Which is just slightly odd. It's a funny old website. Warcom. But yeah, hopefully you see my article tomorrow. And I hope there's some pearls of wisdom in there. Where are we? Oh, yeah, we'll do the head. Forgot what I was doing for a minute there. Does anyone else do that when they're painting? Just like, what colour am I using? What am I doing? Even though the evidence is right in front of your face of what you're supposed to be doing. So much silver. Little Minority Report glove. Do you ever apply blood for the blood god on anything? Yeah, sometimes. I did it on the Deathcore of Krieg, actually. There is some blood for the blood god that you will see in the Krieg Command Squad video. I used it on the vials to make them shiny. Because if you get a really decent coat of blood for the blood god, it's actually just a really nice sort of glossy red. Which is arguably a really good paint for like red gemstones. But you do have to get a really good coat on it, because if it's a bit patchy, it will just look like look like a very specific spot is covered in a bit of blood. But yeah, I love blood for the blood god. I think it's great paint. Weirdly, I use it quite a lot on Nurgle miniatures as well. Because they often appear to be bleeding in places. Any advice for someone who desperately wants to start painting but is terrified to do so? Yeah. The best thing you can do, buddy, is kind of just switch off outside noise. And remember, you're not trying to do what you're not trying to do is you're not trying to do something that somebody else who's been painting for 30, 40 years has been doing. What you're trying to do for the first time is figure out whether or not you like it. So, by all means, like, look at what people do on, you know, YouTube and Instagram and all that kind of thing to understand what colors you could use and stuff like that. And if there's, you know, certain like techniques and things you're interested in or whatever, by all means look at that. But what I'd recommend is just shut off the outside noise, sit down with paint and a brush and a model, and just figure out if you even just really like it. Like, that's the main thing you have to do first and foremost. And, you know, just put on a good film or a really kick-ass album or something and just enjoy yourself. Like, it is a fun thing. There is no pressure to do anything in a particular way or up to a certain standard whatsoever. It is just a hobby, and just like, you know, sitting down to watch a film or whatever. You might not think twice about doing something like that. And remember, you're just wanting to have a go. And as soon as you've had a go, and you've put even just a little bit of paint on a model, remember, you should bear in mind that once you've done it once, you're now a better painter than most of the people that you know who haven't even had a go at it. You're already a good hobbyist by the nature of by the nature of doing it. You're a far better painter, in fact, than millions of people who wouldn't even have a go, regardless of the outcome. Again, not that it's about who's better than who at all. But just create a relaxed environment. Just have a go. Just chill out. Figure out if you like it. If you don't like it, that's also okay. But I would guess that you probably will like it. I was surprised by the amount of Warhammer players who hate painting. Yeah, despise painting, sorry. That is often shocking to me as well. I think it's because they see painting as a barrier to something else. And depending on how you cope with barriers will depend on, you know, whether or not you like it, right? And I think in that instance, you shouldn't view painting as a barrier. You should see it as a enabler. Painting your miniatures enables more tournaments. It enables more games. It's not a barrier that prevents you from playing in those things. It's basically a question of how do you reframe your thinking about things, and that sometimes is all it needs to all that you need to do. Is you just need to change the way that you think about a certain thing with a different word, and that can change your association with things. Right? I do a lot of building, which I despise, and for me, building is a barrier to get to the thing I like, which is painting. But if I don't do the building, it doesn't enable me to do the thing which I enjoy, which is painting. So I see building as an opportunity to do painting, is what I have to do in my brain in order to enjoy it, even a certain amount. So the same thing goes for just try and reframe your thinking sometimes. If you see yourself getting into a negative pattern of thought, it's worth just looking at it and thinking, you know, what am I classifying these things as? What am I viewing this as in my head, which is why I don't want to do this type of thing, or I don't want to do this thing in order to get there, because often, like I said, it is that association that you end up with. I'll tell you a little bit of a story. When I was a younger warthog, I was living. So I'd left London, and I'd moved to Leamington Spa, and I had a flat in Leamington Spa, and I worked for GW during that time for about 6-7 months, during the launch of 8th edition, and I loved it, really enjoyed it. However, financially, I couldn't make it make sense anymore, so I had to go and get a job in my old professional field, which was learning and development. And I was offered a job in London at a recruiter called Michael Page. So I went and worked for them. I went and did I was working for them for another 6 months. And in this, because I was there full time and they wanted me in office all the time, I couldn't work remotely. I had to get a place in London. So at this point, when I was doing that, I managed about 2-3 months before the stress started to set in. I had a room that I was renting in London. I had a place in Leamington Spa. My friends were scattered all to the four winds. I wasn't particularly enjoying the L&D job, and I'd left Games Workshop, and I just wasn't enjoying anything. And I had this breakdown, basically, effectively, of with my mum. Essentially, I was having a conversation with her, and I was just listing all the things that were terrible and awful and causing so much stress. And she said, "I think what you're doing is you're seeing all of these as barriers, but what you haven't noticed is if you were to just rethink this just a little bit, just rethink it a tad, there's actually a huge opportunity here, because all of your contracts are coming to an end. You can quit the job, you can leave the flat, you can give up the room in London and just move home. Reframe how you're thinking about it, because what I was thinking about was, I'm so stressed about all of this because of this, I have to keep doing that." And she said, "No. Take a breath, step back, assess, and reframe it, and think about what you needed to do in order to change that situation." And as a consequence, I did. And that, for me, is the catalyst for where we end up right now, where we are here. It was essentially just, I had to reframe all of that stress into a possible opportunity, and the opportunity was the reset, rather than a continuation. And there we go. This is one thing leads to another, and I end up where I am right now. Basically, you can draw a line between then and here. It's a very straight line. Because I moved home. I moved home to Gloucestershire and lived with my parents for about 2-3 months, and then I got a job at Superdry, and I worked at Superdry for 9 months. And in that time, I was living in Cheltenham. I met Alice. And well, the rest is history. This is where we are, and that's what I mean. Is if you're afraid of painting, what is it that scares you about it? Is it that you won't be good enough to do it? No, that's not the case. You have an opportunity to try something new. That's a good point. Thanks, Josh. You might have kind of helped me with my hobby slump, because I always saw the hobby as a gateway for playing, but I'm not as interested in the game right now, at least on some level. I guess I need to figure out how to reframe that now. Yeah, so the thing you want to do is play the game. All right, if we go down that... If the final goal is playing the game, but you're not interested in playing a game, it means that your final goal has changed, and that's great. That's absolutely fine. So really, rather than painting your miniatures to play the game, maybe painting miniatures is a creative outlet for you, and actually it's a chance to it's a chance for some escapism, to just enjoy doing something that isn't rigorously held by code, which would be your job, or paying the mortgage, or that kind of thing. Like, if work is over here and that's reality, that's today, that's the thing that has to get done, that's your job. Yeah. The job enables you to do the other things, right? But your job is reality. Outside of that, depending on what your job is, your job might be being an artist, and you go and paint stuff for galleries, sure. In which case, I would suggest having a go at doing some arithmetic might be a good way to have some escapisms from the creativity, the sort of but painting your Warhammer can be an escapist moment from real life, rather than it being the stepping stone towards doing the thing that you might not even be sure about anymore. And that's it, is having that time to just reframe your thinking a little bit can help you rediscover a different objective. But it can also help you get back to that same previous objective before. You can end up going, I used this time, and now, oh look, hey, I've painted 1,000 points of this in my creative time. I could play a game with that now. That's what I mean, is you can come back to these things, but it might be that you need a more circuitous route or a different way around. It's just a case of, like I said, reframe your thinking, retarget it. Now that you mention L&D, I can see how it comes across in many of your tutorials. Hey, there you go, Invigorate Coaching. I did digital learning and design, learning and development. I did that for 10 years, and that's why my videos are really boring. I've been painting Stormcast for a while, but I've never played a game. Any advice for getting into that side of it, e.g. wondering where to find people who would play with a beginner in London? Oh my goodness. There are so many opportunities in London. There's places like the London Wargaming Guild, which sounds like it's like this super elite thing, but it's not. It's very friendly, very open atmosphere. They would more than happily help you find beginners games. They run stuff like Spearhead, or they run stuff like Combat Patrol, and they run beginners stuff all the time. The London Wargaming Guild, check them out. Bunch of stores as well in London. There will be sort of beginners days and things. There'll be groups, there'll be discords. Bad Moon Cafe, they have a Discord where you can organise with people to find a beginner's game, find someone who's into it and will want to teach you all this kind of thing. Even Games Workshop themselves, check out, if I did my kind of intro back into learning and playing the game about sort of 2016, 2017. I went to Tottenham Court Road. They have a hobby night where you could play and you could paint and you could do that thing. I don't know if they still do now at Tottenham Court Road, but it might be that the other Games Workshops in the area do. They should have one evening where they're open a little bit later if you check their hours, and that'll be the one that'll be the hobby evening. But just go in and have a chat. They'll help you. They'll find it. They're also really clued into what's going on in the local area, in your local Games Workshops. They'll know if there's a club or anything like that. Only problem now when I open a bottle of contrast paint, I hear the words, "Hello everybody, it's the Warhipster here." There you go. I did ask Games Workshop if they would put a little speaker vox into every pot that opened it and said, "Hello everybody." Hello everybody. Combat Patrol and Spearhead are gateways, but you could also be pleased as Punch only ever playing those models. Yeah, no, exactly. The Spearhead, for sure. I mean, it's its own game mode in its own right? You know, it is the intro, but it's also really fun. There's nothing wrong with only ever playing intro games, basically. Certain board games that are incredibly complex and difficult with lots and lots of moving parts, they might have an intro version 101 where you try this and you'll see how you like it. And actually, it is sometimes it is the more fun way to play it. Could you give me a tip? I struggle to find the right highlight color for the contrast paint range. How do you find the right colors? I look at the box art and I look at the edges and see what color they've painted it. Is what I do. That honestly, like that's the secret sauce. The best thing I can tell you is look at black armor, and you'll see what I mean. If you go and look at something like Deathwatch, or you look at a Raven Guard miniature, or you look at anything of the Games Workshop has painted black, just look at the edges. You'll see what colour it is. If it's grey, then it's Dawnstone, Eshin Grey, that kind of thing. If it's blue, then it's Rust Grey, Thunderhawk Blue, all that kind of thing. That's genuinely how I do it. Blood Angels, you look at the edges are orange. It's Fire Dragon Buried. It's not about picking the highlight that goes with the base, it's picking the base that goes with the highlight, weirdly. Followed your Bastion Carthalos video, and it's now the best painted mini in my army. Super happy with how it turned out. It's such a great model. It is a wonderful model. I love Bastion. Guys, we are 5 likes away from the magic number on the stream. If you'd like to like the stream because you'd like to support me for free, all of this advice I'm giving you for free, the least you could do is hit the like button. Can you teach us how to slap chop? Yeah, Google it. Go to google.com and Google slap chop, and my name won't be anywhere near it. Well, I said we were 4 likes away, and now we're a mighty 9 over. We could shoot for 100, but I doubt it. Given as we have 10 minutes left on the stream. And I've got gold and purple to do, but I'm probably not going to get those done, because the gold will be fiddly. This is where we got to with the Primaris Psyker. It's looking pretty good, isn't it? Couple of references here to the Krieg. That's where she's going. Not bad. I am filming it, as you know, if you've been hanging out in the stream. So there will be a video on this. I don't expect it to be a popular video, but there will be a video on it nonetheless. Tutorial on sub-assemblies would be amazing. What are you doing, Captain Manrings? Don't make me make a video that I'll regret. Here's how to paint your miniatures. Stop doing all of this. Illy, thank you very much for being a member for 9 months. You're a legend. Thank you so much. Did you know that if everybody in the chat became a member or gifted a member right now, we would hit our goal of 500? That's what would happen. Does the Primaris Psyker have solid rules? It does indeed. Primaris Psyker is very good. Let me take you on a journey, James. Let me take you on a journey. Right, so. Death Core of Krieg. This is where you want to put your Primaris Psykers. So your Primaris Psyker. While this model is leading a unit, models in the units have the Feel No Pain 4+ ability against psychic attacks. That's not the best, but it's fine. It's a little amuse-bouche. Psychic Barrier. At the start of your opponent's shooting phase, specifically, you can roll 1d6. On a 1, this Psyker's unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. Boo. On a 2+, until the end of the phase, models in this Psyker's unit have a 4+ invulnerable save. So yeah, 4+ invulnerable phase in your opponent's shooting phase on a 20-man brick of Death Core of Krieg is very, very spicy. And the reason it's very, very spicy is because your Death Core of Krieg can have 2 medics in there. And if they can have 2 medics in here, at the start of your command phase, if the bearer's unit is below its starting strength, you can return up to D3 destroyed Death Core troopers to this unit. If this unit contains 2 models equipped with a Death Core Medipack, return up to D3+1 destroyed Death Core troopers to this unit instead. Which is sick. So you can bring people back. Now, here's the thing, guys. If you also attach a Krieg command squad to your Death Core of Krieg alongside your Psyker, so you have 20 plus the command squad plus the Psyker, you are getting a Feel No Pain 6+ ability against mortal wounds. So you're being protected from things like Devi wounds and stuff like that as well. It also adds 1 to the objective control characteristic of models in the bearer's unit. So you can create a block of 20 Death Core of Krieg, which will have an OC of 60. Psykers are in the Militarum Codex, or do you add it? They're in here. They are in here. Captain Mannerings, thank you for the 1 gifted Warhipster membership, you bloody legend. It's a bit good. If you take them in the recon element, you can make them really horrible. Because if you take them in this one, recon element, you can give them benefit of cover. If it's in the benefit of cover, improve the save characteristics of models in that unit by 1 as well. So you can make them really annoying to move. Yeah. Run big infantry. Yeah, the Psykers, you want them in. They're just very good. They're objectively very, very good. In Cadians, it's okay, because they can also, if you attach a command squad to a block of 20, you also have a medic, but you're only returning D3 models. with the Krieg command squad, with the Krieg stuff, if you've got 2 medics in there, you're returning D3+1. So that's between 2 and 4 are coming back every one of your command phases, which is why they're very good. And on the subject of Death Corps of Krieg, somebody told me I was incorrect in the comments. I'm going to clear this up now. I am not incorrect, because the loadouts for Death Corps of Krieg are exceptional. So for everyone's equipped with a las gun, right? Except for the sergeant, which is the watchmaster, which is equipped with a las pistol and a chainsword. Okay. So for every 10 models in this unit, up to 2 Death Corps troopers can each have their las gun replaced with one of the following: a flamer, a grenade launcher, or a long las. Okay, you cannot select more than 2 of these options per unit unless it contains 20 models, in which case you cannot select more than 4 of these options per unit. So what you can do is you can take 4 long lases if you want. Except it gets a little bit confusing because you can only have more than twice per unit. So in 20 Death Corps of Krieg, you can take 2 long las and 2 grenade launchers, but for every 10 models in this unit, up to 2 Death Corps troopers can each have their las gun replaced with one of the following: 1 las gun and 1 voxcaster, 1 melter gun, or 1 plasma gun. Make sense? So, you can have 4 plasma guns in a unit if you want. But you don't get enough of them in the box. So, But you can put 3 in and have 1 Voxcaster. And you want the Voxcaster because the Voxcaster, each time you target the bearer's unit with a stratagem, roll 1d6, adding 1 to the result if there are 1 or more friendly officer models within 6 inches. On a 5+, you gain 1 CP. So you have the Voxcaster and then 3 plasma guns if you want. At least that's my interpretation of how these rules work. But what I've built is 2 plasma guns and 1 Voxcaster, because that's what you get in the box. Do you have to buy the Kill Team Krieg box to get the medics, or do they come in the regular Death Corps Krieg troops box as well? They should come in there as well. And things like the Psyker and the Priest, they can be attached to a unit that also is attached a command squad as well. So you can put a command squad, 20 Death Corps of Krieg, and a Primaris Psyker together, and that makes 1 unit. So, yeah, there's a lot you can do. How's your World War I Army Men project going? It's going really well. I've nearly finished this today, but we're probably not going to do it now on stream because I just need to do the gold and add a little bit of purple gems. So that right there basically finishes the Death Corps of Krieg. What I can do is, and I do need to get it, I just need to wait until I have some money. I need to buy an artillery team. But that will finish off the Death Corps of Krieg army because I will paint this and this. So this, plus that, plus the Psyker, that's the Death Corps of Krieg done. Plus the artillery team. I need to get one of them. And I might try and figure out a way to squeeze in 2 more so I have 3 of them, and just 3 big siege guns just feels really cool to me. Boom, boom, boom. Just makes me very happy. So, yeah, I might try and figure out a way to do that, but I just need to wait until I get some money in and then I can buy 2 more. As for the combined version, so I do have a combined list which is Cadia and Krieg. I need to finish this, and 5 Kasrkin. And then we're done. And then for the Cadian specific side of things, I haven't 100% figured that out yet. I might buy a shadow sword. But again, I don't have any money. So all of these grand plans will be put on hold for a little bit I think after this week, depending on how things go. I've got some stuff I need to do that isn't Astra Militarum as well. But I'm going to try my darndest to do the... do one of these. I'm going to prime this as well, so we're going to make a video on the priming of this. I just need it to be a bit warmer because it's really cold at the moment, and I don't want to prime it in the cold, basically. So that might happen this week, that might happen next week, it depends. But I will then do the priming on this, and I'll show you doing like the sticky tack and all this kind of thing and how it works, and that way you can replicate that with any kinds of sprays that you want to do. But the video will be combined with this. So the video will basically be how I paint my tanks, and it'll be a more concise, more detailed version of what we did on New Year's Day with the 2 Lehman Russ. So yeah. But there will be a video that is how to paint both of these, and then the priming will be on this one. Basically. What's coming after Militarum Mondays? Slanesh Saturdays. I can't do a stream on Saturday. I couldn't do a live stream on Saturday. Saturday's my usually my NDA date. Alec Bad, thank you very much for being a member for 9 months. Legend of the chat. The reason being is you don't want to do a stream and put a video out on the same day, because YouTube will only notify people of one of them. And I'd rather people see a sprue review than me talking. If you keep the paint can warm indoors, quickly spray it outdoors, then get it inside to dry fast, it should work. I primed in -2 degrees last time. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Black Hole Eyes. I do need to film the process, though, and that adds time. So I just need it to be a little bit warmer outside so that it's not super uncomfortable for me to make the video. Because I have to be like, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing all of this, and we're going to be priming, and we're going to be doing that, and this is how we're going to go. Psh, psh, psh. See? Just like that. Psh, psh, psh. I can't just be like, done. Yeah. That's the barrier. But there is an opportunity to make a great video, hopefully. And as mentioned, this week I do want to try and do the video that you guys have asked for ages. How do I come up with my schemes? Well, here is a Chaos Terminator. Why do you think I built that? So yeah, I built that to figure out how to paint Emperor's Children. And it's gonna be a how to paint, but it's gonna be how I paint, basically. How to come up with a scheme. So I need to finish building them as well. Did your kit have bad mold lines? No, this one was okay. It's actually in pretty good nick. I haven't finished them, as you can see. It won't focus. So yeah, I need to finish building them. But I keep running out of time to do things. But yeah. As you can see, we've already been quite productive this year. And that's not slowing down anytime soon. Because I just want you guys to love me. That's all. Is that so much to ask? Just keep coming back. No, we will do an Alpha Legion video, but we'll do it once Alfarius is in stock, as Batman has decreed. And he is still out of stock. Although that is telling me that's out of stock from the New Zealand store. So let's try that again, shall we? Yep, still out of stock. He did also ask for Sigismund, who I imagine is out of stock. Yeah. We'll find a week where we can paint up a couple of Primarchs, because I've got Mortarion to do as well. Even if you don't put out daily content. Oh yeah, no, trust me. Daily content will stop. It will, eventually. But as it stands, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 videos I have filmed. 3 of which are in progress. That's a video. How about Magnus? I've already done Magnus. I've done Magnus both in demon form and in heresy form. You can find those live on the channel right now. Mortarion, it's the heresy version. We have done Mortarion in the Paladin Vectorum. I'll tell you what I'll do for you, Illy. I'll go and find it for you now. In fact, I should have a playlist that is just all Primarchs. No, that's Thousand Suns. Primarchs. There it is. So here we go. That playlist right there. In there is how to paint Gilliman, 40k, Lionel Johnson, 40k, Angron, 40k, Magnus, 40k, Mortarion, Paladin Vectorum, 40k, Magnus the Red, Primarch of the Thousand Suns, Horus Heresy, Sanguinius, Horus Ascended, Lionel Johnson, Rogal Dorn, Jagatai Khan, Horus the War Master, Constantin Valdor, and Fulgrim Transfigured, all from the Age of Darkness. We've done a lot of Primarchs over the years. People want me to do all of them. That costs a hell of a lot of money. At the moment, we need to get our hands on Alfarius, because he's been out of stock for ages. But Alfarius is the one that Batman wants, and we have Mortarion from the Age of Darkness left to do, who we've already got. And Have you painted any Minotaurs? I haven't painted any Minotaurs specifically, but what I have done is I've done a video called Spartan-themed armies. Which will help you. This video right here, Tattooed Zoologist. That video will help you paint Minotaurs. And it's a really good video that that everyone should watch. When either Russ or Perturabo are back in stock, I will be making another donation contribution to the Primark Fund. Well, that's very kind of you. Filters, sort by price descending. Thank you. There have been requests for Carbanda, a Warlord Titan, which we have, and Peter's going to build it for me. He's going to clean it up for me at least. Alfarius, Lehman Russ, Corvus Corax, Perturabo, Gilliman, Conrad Kurz, Lorgar, Old Fulgrim for some reason, Angron, Vulcan, Ferrus Manus. Who am I missing? I think that's everyone, isn't it? Yeah, it looks to be. But all the Primarchs are currently temporarily out of stock other than Lorgar, because it's the most boring. Lorgar, Conrad, and Gilliman are all in stock, as is Constantin Valdor. Yeah, there you go. Did you do the Heresy era line? I have. I've done them both. New and old. Always remember that your buddy old pal Josh has done over 1,000 videos, including streams and shorts. In terms of painting videos, we have painting videos and sprue reviews and various things like that, like just like videos that I've made, long form video content. Where are we at? We are on 707, I think. And if we kept going with daily content, we would be hitting 1,000 videos at the end of this year. Yeah, 707. Oh. No, I didn't get to doing that yet, Black Hole Eyes. I will do it eventually. Probably when it's way too late in the day to have done it. But I will get to doing it eventually. The only problem with doing those is they take a lot of time. It doesn't sound like they do, but they do. They take ages. It's a really good project to do in the spring when it's a bit warmer. Because we can just go out and prime a bunch of bases and just get them done. But during the summer is when there's a bunch of new stuff that comes out, so you end up being very busy. But it might be that we have, like, Project Spearhead was in May last year, because we had a huge gap of stuff before AOS 4 came out. It might be that we get some time in May to just be like, oh yeah, okay, let's get going with those contrast paints. But there we go. Anyway, it is 7:45 now, guys, so it is time for me to conclude matters. I will be back tomorrow with a painting video. It'll be Contrast Plus How to Paint the Death Corps of Krieg Command Squad, I think, is the video we'll put out tomorrow. If it's not going to be that, it will be Contrast Plus How to Paint Alatok Guardians. And the reason being is it depends on how motivated I am to edit a longer video. Alatok will be a sort of 15-minute video max. Death Corps of Krieg will be like a 45-minute video, I'm sure, because it's a long one. Because you have to paint the 5, then the 1, then the 1. So we'll be back tomorrow with a painting video. We will be back on Wednesday with another live stream. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I might not even stream. Depends how I feel. Depends how busy I am over the next couple of days. But we should be back on Wednesday with a live stream. On Thursday there will be another painting video, and on Friday there will be another painting video, and on Saturday there will be another painting video, and on Sunday there will be another painting video. So if you don't catch me on Wednesday, you'll catch me live next Monday. But I hope you enjoyed this one. See you all very soon in the next one. Here is the hand of farewell. I wave it at you because I love you. Yeah, you. You look great today, by the way. Don't know if I've told you. But you do. You look fantastic. So yeah. Bye now. Love you. Bye.